Other than that, everybody was out there and going. I mentioned to you that Pat's not playing, then we'll just kind of see where things go from there. We look forward to the challenge of playing Denver. Good football team, we know that. And so Sean has done a nice job, as his coordinators have, of putting that together. I think our guys have had a good week of practice. They've all kind of rotated in there and done some part of it, which is good. And we'll just see how it goes on Sunday there. Anyways, with that, time's yours.
Hey, Andy. Jalen Watson, we saw him out there. What's happened here in the last week or so that's allowed him to get to this point?
Yeah, he's really done well coming back. I'm curious to see how he did today and how he felt. And but he was out there till the end and moving around pretty good from what I saw. Yeah.
Andy, those three injured guys, Jones, Pacheco, and Jawan Taylor, they'll be out. You will send us out?
Yeah, most likely, yes.
You mentioned it's a good opportunity for guys who maybe are getting mixed in this week and everything. Nico and Reid are one of those guys. What have you just kind of seen from him as a developmental player this year?
Yeah, he got a couple snaps in last week, and then he's been doing the return stuff, doing a nice job with it. He's reliable. He knows everything, all the positions. He's quick, smart, fast. He can do all that stuff. So, good catcher.
Coach, you said some really nice things about Carson Wentz the whole time you've had him here. Now you've watched him practice a few times, knowing he's going to start. What have you liked about kind of the way he's gone about it this week?
Yeah, you can tell he's done it before and gone through the whole week process that it takes to put the game plan in storage there in your mind and be able to see it and then execute it. So I think he's done a good job there. I think the guys have confidence in him, which probably tells you the whole story. So, but he's done well.
And do you anticipate DJ Humphries starting at left tackle?
There's a good chance, yeah, with that. Yeah. Again, he's one that I'm kind of checking every day here, so as we go. So, but he looked like he did good today. Yeah.
We didn't ask about it on Wednesday, but Steven Nelson, obviously, you've had in the practice squad for a little bit.
Yeah.
Is he someone you want to see in Denver on Sunday?
Well, you only have a couple of elevations you can do, so I don't think you're probably going to see him. Yeah.
Andy, did you expect to see Watson back on the field this soon?
The way he was going about it, I get to see it every day, the progress that he's making, or at least get a update on it. And he's been doing so well that I figured that he'd be out there giving a whirl. I didn't know what I would see out there, and I'm still not sure exactly. Other than the times I looked at him, he was moving around pretty good. So, be curious to see how he feels here after this practice and into tomorrow.
And in 2019, you kind of famously said, "Hail to the Dolphins" after they helped you guys out. I just kind of wondered what you thought about this scenario where potentially you guys can help out the Dolphins as well.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. Different head coach. I like both guys, but that's I'm not trying to help anybody out. I'm just trying to, go up and do well in the game. So, but I hadn't thought of that. But I appreciate what they did. I sent them some great Kansas City steaks for doing that. Yeah. So.
Coach, a couple of your former players, Michael Vick and Deshaun Jackson, now becoming head coaches in college. What about them when they were in review that we tell you that they were going to become head coaches?
Yeah, listen, I'm proud of them. Michael's, both of them have been kind of into that.
Yeah.
Deshaun, he came up kind of close to where I grew up, and so I knew a lot of the people who worked with him, and his dad was real involved at that time, and so I think it's great to see him have an opportunity to do it. I knew somewhere that was in his plans. Both of them are very smart, innately very smart. Just they've been blessed that way, and they don't forget anything. They could handle a game plan like that, and I think they'll do great as a head coach. They got good people skills, and recruiting is a big part of that.
What's that piece of advice you'd give them about coaching me?
Yeah, I've been fortunate to stay in touch with both of them. So, I had a chance to talk to the people that were hiring them and so on. So it was they have my full support. I know they're going to do great, and the university is supporting them right now, which is a beautiful thing. That they obviously went in there and impressed them. So that's about half the battle, and then this whole recruiting thing. I don't understand all that, but I know it'll be a great challenge for all these guys, all these head coaches at college level.
Last one, Emily.
Well, there's a commercial of you on State Farm saying Wendell-Ruski, and I just kind of want to know how long it took you to say that without laughing.
Yeah, it was a good question. There were a lot of takes on Bundle Ruski. Yeah, but no, we had a good time with it.
Good, thanks, Coach.
All right, good. Happy New Year.
Hey, Chiefs Kingdom. Let's talk about the final game of the regular season against the Broncos. Now, before you shrug it off because it feels like a whatever game, let's set the scene. Remember Christmas Day? Our Chiefs crushed the Steelers 29-10, locking down the AFC 1 seed. That means home field advantage throughout the playoffs and a first-round bye. Pretty sweet, right? But here's the deal. With nothing to prove this week, Coach Andy Reid has made a few big decisions about the lineup, and yeah, they're bound to spark some opinions. I'll spill all the details in just a second. Before we dive into it, let me ask you this. How do you feel about the Chiefs resting key players with playoffs right around the corner? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Team strategy or risky move? Okay, let's break down what Andy Reid has in mind. Alright, so here's what's up. Andy Reid isn't taking any chances this week. With the playoffs in the bag, he's decided to rest most of our key players. And yeah, that includes the guy Patrick Mahomes. Stepping into the spotlight instead is backup QB Carson Wentz, who's set to start against the Broncos. Now Reid made it clear during his press conference, Pat's not playing. We'll see where things go from there. It's classic Reid keeping things strategic, especially when the ultimate goal is winning that Lombardi trophy. But let's be honest, not seeing Mahomes in action feels weird, doesn't it? This move is all about staying healthy and ready for the playoffs, but it does open up some questions. Like, will the backups rise to the occasion and keep the momentum going? Or are we risking a rhythm break for the starters? Let's make it interactive. Poll time. If you were Coach Reid, what would you do? Rest the starters and play it safe. Let them play and keep the momentum alive. Vote in the comments, and while you're at it, tell me what you expect from Wentz this Sunday. Now, speaking of key players, let's talk about the big names sitting out this week. So let's talk about the big headline, Travis Kelce. Chiefs fans, I hate to break it to you, but the latest injury report lists Kelce as doubtful for Sunday's game. And honestly, with everything on the line in the playoffs, it's pretty safe to assume he won't play. But Kelce isn't the only one. Big names like Chris Jones, Nick Bolton, Kareem Hunt, Trent McDuffie, and more are also listed as doubtful. Even Isaiah Pacheco and Mecole Hardman are officially out. It's clear Reid isn't holding back on this resting strategy. Here's a little perspective. Remember last season? Kelce sat out the final game too, even though he was just 16 yards away from another 1,000-yard season. Fans were bummed, sure, but that extra rest helped him crush it in the playoffs, racking up 355 yards and 3 touchdowns. If we're going for a historic three-peat, maybe this is the way to go. But what do you think? Question time. Which player's absence worries you the most? Kelce? Jones? Someone else? Let's talk about it in the comments. Alright, now that we've covered who's out, let's shift gears to the playoffs and what's at stake. Alright, Chiefs Kingdom, let's look ahead to the playoffs because this is where things get really exciting. With our starters getting some well-earned rest, the focus shifts to what's next. A shot at NFL history. If we pull off this Super Bowl run, we'll become the first team ever to complete a three-peat. Just think about that for a second. 3 championships in a row. And let's not forget Travis Kelce. Last postseason, he was unstoppable, and with this extra downtime, he might be gearing up for another legendary performance. Can you imagine him topping last year's numbers? Because I can. Here's where I need your input. What's your prediction? Will Kelce dominate the playoffs again? Which player will surprise everyone and step up? Drop your predictions in the comments. I'll be reading them all. Speaking of the playoffs, we're not done here yet. Let me wrap things up for you. Alright, my friend, that's a wrap for today's breakdown. We've covered everything from Andy Reid's bold lineup decisions to Travis, Kelce's status, and the big picture for the playoffs. Now it's your turn to join the conversation. If you haven't already, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss our post-game analysis and playoff previews. And seriously, get down in the comments. I want to hear your takes on Reid's strategy, your predictions for the playoffs, and which player you think will shine brightest. Stay tuned, Chiefs Kingdom. Big things are coming. See you next time.